Is this Invisible Man 733 presents?
It most certainly is. Is this Mr. Winmajisty, the author of 365 Diamond Attitudes of Great and Royal Champions and Achievers?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, welcome to Invisible Man Presents.
Yes,
Are
sir.
you
Thank you
still
for
there?
having me.
Okay, very
Yes, sir.
good. All right. Well, I have to get a little music to wake up with, so let's hear the theme song. Every time I hear the theme song, I get pretty excited. I just like it's just they be jamming so hard.
That's
What
me.
can I say? Now, let's get straight to the point. Thank you for appearing on Invisible Man 733 presents Mr. Win Majesty.
Yes, sir. Thank
The
you for
book,
having me.
yes, sir, is the 365 Diamond Attitudes of Great and Royal Champions and Achievers. So, tell everyone why you wrote the book.
Well, I wrote this book to remind everybody to move forward with the best attitude.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, so what is an attitude? I know that might sound dumb, but even deeper, what is the meaning of a diamond attitude?
Well, it's what you just did. It didn't sound dumb at all because you're trying to increase your knowledge about something. So that in itself is a diamond attitude,
Oh,
pursuing more and pursuing better. But an attitude is uh, kind of like whatever a person's understanding of spirit, almost like in sports. If they're in a competition, they play another team. If they feel like they're not going to win, they probably might going to lose. But if
mm-hmm.
they feel like they're going to win, their attitude, if they stay cheerful, if they work at it cheerfully and with the best of confidence, that's a diamond attitude.
Okay, sounds like you're saying that it's very important to think positive. Is that true?
Yes, sir. In order to win, when you faced with a situation where you could either win or lose, you want to win
All the time?
all the time. If you lose, that happened already. So you still should be looking forward to winning. All,
Okay. Can you explain that again? I'm wondering, we should just be so about winning all the time, no matter what.
if you're in a situation that's competitive where you could come out as the loser and your opponent or adversary or enemy could come out as the winner, yes, all the time in that context.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
because as I'm looking through your book, there's Diamond Attitude 135 that says articulate yourself the first time, but then when I get over to Diamond Attitude 137, I think it speaks more to what you just said. Here you said one tendency of weakness is to admire strength, while another tendency of weakness is to despise and envy strength.
Yes, sir.
So, and I think I added the word too. Uh,
Right. And
yeah.
with that, the diamond attitude about that one,
Hmm.
137,
Yes,
is
sir.
that it depends on the person relative to the strength.
Slow down now.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, I'm not the brightest bulb in the box.
Yes, sir.
So it depends on the. What did you just say? Could you say that again? If I didn't, go ahead.
Right. The dominant attitude of that is to understand that certain people want to grow and certain people don't want to grow. So
Oh.
if if someone is stronger than someone else mentally
Mhm.
or physically, the one who is lesser strength could either admire the person who's stronger because that's what they strive to be or reach one day, or they could envy it because they never intend on actually getting that strength themselves. So they
And and
and
we're talking about mental strength, right?
right, and we're talking to champions in this book. So we're
Mm-hmm.
saying on the way to being, you got to be aware of these type of things.
Say that again. In order to be a champion, you have to be what?
On the way to being a champion,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be aware that when someone is weaker than you, they could either envy
Mm-hmm.
and despise your strength, or they could admire your strength.
Yes,
How
sir.
you recognize is their own efforts to getting stronger.
Well, that's what I was alluding to
Yes,
when
sir.
I said that. Do you have to win all the time? Is that a primary focal point of life? I must win. I must be the first. I must be the best all the time.
You have to want to win all the time.
Oh,
If you
okay.
if you if you're in competitive with where something is threatening your benefit, the purpose, our number one purpose, collectively and individually, is to secure benefit. And if there is something competing that could bring you detriment, you definitely want to always be in a state of mind to win. Now,
Mm,
when it comes to a competitive attitude, I think asking is it always good to have a competitive attitude? And the answer to that is no, sir.
oh, and
Everything is not worth competing over.
hmm
Yes, sir.
well, I'm primarily asking sometimes if you are consistently the top person and you never lose, could it make you become what is the term arrogant?
Uh, yes, sir. It definitely
Okay.
could, and that's in dominant attitudes also.
Okay.
That as soon as you reach the level of superb skill, now you reach the time where you better be careful not to fall off.
Mm. Oh,
Yes, sir. So that's to stay humble, uh, no matter how high you believe you have reached
hmm,
or how advanced you believe you are.
yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Is the mind a powerful entity?
Absolutely, without a doubt. And now I want to say that was a double meaning
Okay.
in that answer. If you don't have doubt in it, yes, it can be very powerful. So yes,
Mm.
without a doubt, absolutely.
Okay, so you're playing with words again.
Yes,
Without a doubt. Well, just speak straight because, like I said, I'm still trying to learn. So the mind is powerful, but you should not have any doubt.
yes, sir. Because at the same time that is powerful,
Hmm.
also has the potential to not be powerful.
Okay. Well, this is something that people have been talking about for a time. Do we as people use a large portion of our brain? Meaning, in so many words, can we improve how we think? And what do you have to say about that?
Uh, yes, sir. Brain is very. high in potential, and we don't use that full potential first and foremost
Mm-hmm.
because of our diet
Oh.
and the way that we think and our activity, our physical activity. So we deprive the brain more than we actually give it benefit. And with with respect to some people who have reached levels to use higher portions of their brain, in general, the society all over the planet has like has gotten used to just using a small amount and making do with that much.
Okay.
And
Very little use of the brain power is what you're saying.
right, using just enough, you know, or not enough.
Well, as you were giving your answer, sir, what came to mind was you were talking about increasing. For some reason, I want to ask you about how does breathing help you think?
Yeah. In each breath, uh, the brain receives oxygen, and also the blood receives oxygen, and the blood goes to the brain. So if the blood doesn't have enough oxygen, when it reaches the brain, it's not supplying the brain with the good quality of blood. And if the breath itself is not a good breath, it's not supplying the brain with a good source of water.
Now, you said a good breath. Can you explain that just a little
Yes, sir.
more?
Yes, sir. And that's also in the book too.
Yeah,
Uh,
go ahead.
breath, it should have certain qualities. It should be smooth, even, calm. You should be relaxed, and it should be steady. It should be even pace.
Hmm.
Inhale, exhale. It should be intended to be smooth. It should be evenly taken in, evenly pushed out. It should be
Well,
relaxed.
as you are speaking, I'm getting a feeling that you are a deliberate person and you think about things before you do and say and act.
Yes, sir. I'm sharing my experience
Okay.
with.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself since you want to share your experience. Where are you from?
Oh, I was born in Norfolk, Virginia, and
Okay.
I'm from Mecca, Arabia. Oh no, let me get back on track. I was born in Virginia. I lived in Atlanta for a long time. I lived in Boston for a long time.
Okay. And you just
I'm
put
from
out in
slavery.
the atmosphere Mecca Arabia. That's quite interesting.
Right, I'm
Uh,
slavery.
sir.
I'm from the slavery diaspora.
Oh, okay. So you are now saying the term that I heard, the Afro descendant. You consider yourself an Afro descendant.
Yes, sir. I declare that. I declare
Okay.
I am an Afro descendant.
All
Yes.
right. Uh, in the trailer, we were talking about forward momentum, and I got the impression that a lot of information you're holding back on me. So I want to ask you a series of questions that are considered to be actual facts.
Yes, sir.
So can I throw some questions at you and see what you come out with? Ask you some actual facts.
Absolutely.
Okay. Uh, how? What is the total area of the land and water of the planet Earth?
196,940,000 square miles.
And that's an actual fact.
That's an actual fact.
Okay. Can you divide it into land and water?
No, sir. I used to know those figures uh, word for word,
Hmm.
but no, sir. At this time, I can't.
But you used to, so it's somewhere in your mind.
That's right. Yes, sir. It is.
Okay. Well, the ability to pull up information is very important.
That's right. And I
So,
also I wrote the 365 and 1/4 diamond attitudes,
hmm.
and I myself also need them.
Okay.
I didn't perfect it. I shared my spirit with humanity. The things that
Okay.
I know, and some things I become highly accomplished in, but at the same time, other things I need to polish.
Okay.
I'm one of my brothers. I'm one of my nation.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
Now, you say one of your brothers, one of your nation, that would be the Afro-descendant nation.
That would be the Afro descendant nation, the
Okay.
Asiatic nation, the tribe of Shabazz.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You are really putting some information out here. The tribe of Shabazz. Okay. Well, the things you wrote in your book, can they be called motivational?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. That's what they were intended to be. They were intended to remind everyone that thing is always moving forward. So no matter how you feel about something that may have made you feel bad or feel down,
Hmm.
the reality is it already happened, and now is bounce back time. Every moment is new, and every moment is current. It's right here, and in in that moment exists your effort. And I wanted to remind everybody to stay motivated, excuse me, to move forward.
To
And
move forward.
to move forward as much as you possibly can remember. My book is designed to pick it up, open it to any page, anytime, and just flip through it or read it from
Hmm.
front to back. It's meant to help a person to remember that they are a champion.
Okay.
You
Well,
was born.
let me throw out this one. This is number 163. And here you say it's okay for someone to interrupt your training slash study once so they can be properly, politely warned not to. Once warned, they should easily understand being ignored, and in parentheses, you have except in emergency every time because champions take their training so serious, there are no words for it. Could you give me a little explanation on number 163?
Absolutely, yes, sir. That's all of it important, but that's so intensely important because it, what are you training for? What's the reason for the training? It's not for just trivial matter. It's so that you can accomplish something or win at something, change something. And if you can't do it, if it's always interrupted, then you're not going to be successful at what you were trying to accomplish from the study or the training in the first place. So, in order not to be rude to a person, like, why are they ignoring me? Why are they ignoring me? Then the peaceful thing to do is to say, to explain to them how important you're trying. Explain so
Mm-hmm.
so it'll be known between you and them that you know, they know, everybody know. So now the next time, if they interrupt and it's not an emergency, then they should be ignored.
And there's
They, they,
nothing
they
wrong with
should
you
they
doing
should
it.
understand it, right? You're not
Mm-hmm.
ignoring them out of rudeness. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
once they see you ignoring them, they should be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Got this right." They said they be training. That's right. I should
Okay.
learn that.
Well, it sounds like you're talking about number 248, and it reads, an imperial attitude, state of mind is encouraged, though you must be careful not to become imperious, which can ruin imperial status, especially amongst the imperial.
Yes, sir.
Can you break that down for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's what you covered earlier about
Hmm.
if a person becomes too arrogant or big headed to where they don't believe they can be told anything
Hmm.
of truth
Yes,
or
sir.
can be given any type of wise advice.
Hmm.
Certain matters are not worth them looking into, or they don't need to be updated on something or something. And then that's a non-progressive attitude. And man, nah. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can you hear
We
me?
had a little technical difficulty. We had a
Oh,
glitch
okay,
there.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That was my fault, not yours. Uh, okay.
But I'm
Uh,
on everybody to
that.
look up the word imperious.
Oh, well, it has something to do with being like an emperor, right?
No, see, it's a different type of word. It's
Oh,
imperial,
it does.
right? But I was playing with words. And,
Hmm.
uh, I put that there because it sounds like it, but it's actually the opposite of an.
Oh, I see.
It's
Well,
something that actually takes away from a royal quality.
hmm,
It's
oh, it's negative rather than positive.
imperious.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
So it's negative rather than positive,
Yes, sir.
which is not a good thing.
Absolutely not. It's detrimental.
Okay. From my understanding, I'm looking at the dictionary definition: assuming power or authority without justification, arrogant and domineering. And some of the synonyms are preemptory, high handed, commanding, of course, imperial, overbearing. So all of these are not good.
Well, I would like to say this too. Okay, a quick linguistics. I'm an amateur in
Hmm.
linguistics, but I know war strategy. And the way that some languages were constructed was to put negative connotations on certain things that the Afro-descendant nation should have anyway. So
Hmm.
I'm not going to say every synonym that they gave that was. I'm going to say that the definition is negative. It's not
Hmm.
good, and some
Okay. Now,
synonyms are not.
earlier, when we were talking before you did the uh, trailer, the promotion,
Yes,
I had
sir.
asked you a very simple question, and it astounded me your response. I'm going to ask it again. Does an idea have a color?
And I said not at first.
Mm, I thought that was. Go on and continue your explanation, please.
Well, everything comes out of darkness first.
Hmm.
So therefore, black, even though it's looked at as a color, it's not a color. It's the original. But now, since we distinguish things after the other colors came about, then black does become a color. An idea,
Hmm.
at first, it does not have a color. But the same way that you can have the lights off and touch something, you can touch a texture or you can touch something before you see it.
Hmm.
It has a color. Uh, Within the spectrum of light is all of the colors.
Yes, sir.
Everything has a vibration to it, and each vibration coordinates with a color and a shade of that color. And It coordinates with a we like to call it a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It coordinates with a wave or a beat, like a beat of motion or a beat of dynamics that
Mm-hmm.
existing from moment to moment can be in a certain vibe, in a certain. We loosely, when but going into the scientific study, that's their free for to exercise their human rights and go into that if they choose to. But colors, ideas, they do have a as they start to form, they
Mm-hmm.
take on the colors.
You know, sometime, I mean, somehow, I believe you are talking over my head, and we have only a few minutes, so I will have to have you to come back. But you mentioned human rights. How did we get human rights? Why would you bring up human rights?
The reason I brought up human rights is because I didn't want to be imperious.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be a person who's done a lot of studying or who chose subjects and then just assume every other person on the planet need to know their subject too. That's
Mm-hmm.
the truth. That's why I brought up human rights is because careful because I'm from the people who was who human rights was violated in the worst way ever
Mm-hmm.
possible. Then I'm coming from my people and we uh, as contemporary Muslims we want to be very careful about respecting people's human rights because we're in a fight for self-determination, human rights. We want our own country, and so we don't want to be imperious as we
Mm-hmm.
emerge onto the world stage. We want to be respected, and we want to show respect. So I said that in order to make sure I was being respectful.
Mm-hmm.
If a person chooses, which I would strongly advise, study vibrations,
Mm-hmm.
study colors and vibrations that coordinate with colors, and study a lot. Study your heart out. Train your heart out.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, excuse me, sir. So basically, the training that when we were talking about the training is the training for life, the training how to survive in life.
Yes, sir. It really corresponds to what your priority of what you're challenged with.
Mm-hmm.
It's the priorities. That's what the training should correspond with. If it's for a particular office that you want to hold at a company,
Mm-hmm.
that training should correspond with that. If it's for
Okay.
escaping a particular uh, impending disaster or destruction that's going to occur, your training should correspond with that. If it's for defense, self defense, if it's for longevity, if it's for perfect, if it's for if it's for
Mm-hmm.
school, and on, it should correspond with it.
Well, let me ask you a really simple question. Do you watch much TV?
Uh, I would say yes, sir. Enough. Yeah, I watch TV. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
I,
Because sound like
I
you
don't
you
watch.
do a lot of reading more than watching TV.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Oh.
I watch a lot of television, TV programs, and shows and
Mm-hmm.
sitcoms. I don't watch that, but I
Okay.
tune. But now reading, I
Yes,
was a
sir.
library. I was a kid from the
Oh.
library, and I and
Mm-hmm.
I always went to the library, get away from the the hood, get away from the ghetto. I wanted to go
Yes,
to the
sir.
library, and it was peaceful in there, and there was a lot of journeys. And when I heard the Pygmy Princess was coming out, I was
Oh,
like,
really?
I can't wait until
Thank you.
because I'm
She's
gonna
about to
elaborate
make her
quick.
debut. Thank you. But I'm
Sir.
sorry, we have a few minutes, a few seconds actually. We're going on 30 minutes, and it just hit the 30-minute mark. Hate to stop you. You
Uh,
have a few more minutes, and we'll go just a little overtime.
okay, I have a few more minutes. I would
Okay.
to
I don't want to be pushy. That's another synonym of imperious.
yes,
So,
sir.
Mr. Win Majesty,
Yes, sir.
if there was something that our audience needed to know about your book and about the process of getting their mind together to have a free mind, enlighten us on that.
I would say get my book, uh, 365 and one fourth Diamond Attitudes. Read it and improve your diet. Don't eat so much. Anything you read, if you don't actually apply it, then you're not going to get the benefit from it. Your purpose in life is to secure benefit. And I would
Okay,
also
slow down now. You're talking over my head again. It's to secure benefit. Does that mean a house, money, fiance? What are you saying with benefits?
it means good homes,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of money, friendships in all walks of life,
Okay.
luxury, yes, sir, and all the things that go along with that.
Okay.
Heaven,
Yes, sir.
and I also before we run out of time, I want to ask the audience to go and visit blackrosependant.com. Also go to YouTube and visit Angel Network, and also visit When Majesty Planet.
Okay, so you're doing an advertisement.
Right.
Win Majesty Planet and the other two you said?
Uh, the Angel Network
Angel Network. Okay.
and blackrosependant.com or Black.
BlackRosePendant.com, Win Majesty Planet, and the Angel Network.
Yes, sir.
There was something about a T Man group.
And the
Think you had.
Teeman Group.
Oh,
The
T
Teeman.
Man. That's how you pronounce it.
TEMAN.
Okay. Well, I hope we can get you back. Are you working on another book at this point?
Yes, sir. I'm working on a couple of more books.
A couple of more.
I'm working
Well,
on
I'm still trying to understand this one.
I'm working on a book series.
Okay.
I don't want to really talk too much about it.
No, no, I understand.
Idea and but I'm looking forward to reading your book.
Oh, well, one day I can, but uh, this is the thing. When we get together again, will you give us some more insight into your first book, which
Yeah,
is 365 and one quarter Diamond Attitudes of Great and Royal Champions and Achievers?
absolutely. Yes, sir. I come on the show anytime you want me to.
Okay, okay. Well, again, the other sites you wanted to have the audience to take a look at is Win Majesty Planet,
Right?
BlackRosePendant.com,
Right.
T Man Group,
Yes, sir.
and the Angel Network.
That's right. And read the book Here Solace and stay updated and abreast on what's going on with the Afro Descendant Nation.
Okay, so once again, we have been talking with Mr. Atta Win Majesty, the author of 365 and one quarter Diamond Attitudes of Great and Royal Champions and Achievers. And he is a fount, and I like to use that word, or fountain of fantastic information. Do you want to leave us with one final thought, sir?
Yes, sir, I will. I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
read to you Diamond Attitude 1/4.
Okay.
It says, one must go forth, one must grow forth in proceeding A percentage of the advancing may be in sudden, unexpected leaps. A percentage may require leaping, and a percentage may cause one to feel like leaping, walk, march, run, fly, etc. Nevertheless, one must advance forth, regardless to where one is quartered. One want to grow forth, despite trial and or error. One must go forth, kicking, screaming, cringing, whatever. Shall go forth, for so goes all. May as well go with the dominant attitudes of triumphant. Crown the moment.
Well, you heard it, listeners, directly from the author of 365 and one quarter diamond attitudes of great and royal champions and achievers, Mr. Winmajisty. Thank you again, sir, for joining us on the Invisible Man Presents, and I can't wait till you make another appearance.
Yes, sir. It was an honor. Appreciate it for having me.
Oh, yes, sir. And here's the music.